You may.
Ba 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 ba.
Dun, 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 do, 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 do.
Ba 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 ba.
Dun, 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 do, do, do.
Boo, boo, ba 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 ba.
I wish I was sleeping because it's very early. And now here's Coach Crendor. Do, 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 do. I'm first in Pick'ems and almost in fantasy. Dirt.
Yeah.
You are. Wow.
Oh, dude, I don't even know if I won fantasy. I should check.
That's
Probably
a good
lost.
question. I lost because
Oh,
I
I lost.
played
Yeah.
Sinvicta. And
Yep.
oh my god, what did I have? Tough break, Krondor always plays top scorer, knocks off ACL tears.
Tough break, Crondor.
Tough break, Krondor.
I mean, you had a chance because Aaron Rodgers, your boy, stunk it up something fierce.
Yeah, well then Tom Brady sucked ass. He scored like one more. He didn't even score one more point. He scored like a half point more than Aaron Rodgers. Golden Tate got me 11.8. Danny Amendola for the never trust the Detroit Lions, kids. Never trust him. He had scored 18, 17, and I was like, oh, he's going against the Oakland Raiders. This has to be a huge game for him. Got 6.
The Raiders.
6 points.
Dude, Minshew Magic let me down. He, if I had started Josh Allen,
I can't believe you started Minshew.
Dude, I've been starting Minshew. Minshew's actually led me to my 3 only wins of the season. So,
And then the San Francisco defense got me 3 points.
Hey, I don't want to hear it. The Patriots defense, my top scorer of this entire season, got me 4.
They're playing Baltimore. San Francisco is playing Arizona.
You had no excuse to not win this one, Coach. But my team doing exactly what they do every single year. I keep telling people I lose the first 4 or 5, and then I go undefeated for the rest of the year. Then I'll lose to Rob.
Yeah. Well, I'm pulling a Buffalo Bills right here. I'm on a start 5-0, and now I'm 5-4, sitting in the middle. But hey, you know what? We have a 5-way tie for second place right now.
Oh my! Is it really? I actually
it's Krondor, Bear. I eat puppies myself, and then NG Wolfgamer. That's funny.
And then Tenants of Hobopolis at 6-3, so they're only 1 game up. This is
and there's only 10 points to separate the top scorers.
If you look at the points scored, I'm actually the second worst, and I'm 5-4. But it's kind of like the Patriots defense. How I was 5-0, and they were playing against the Redskins, the Dolphins, the Jets, but then they play, a real team, and they give up 37 points.
I mean, you were the one who was acting all smarmy about how many points you haven't scored, but still were undefeated at a time. So
I did that 5 weeks in a row. That's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But next week I'm gonna start busting out. We need to correct this right now. So
and the coach is dead. Long live the king of pick'ems. There has been a rise in the power rankings, Coach. Number 1 in pick'ems, and I will boast about it. Exactly 2.35% less than Crendor did every single week.
Very nice, very nice.
I mean, honestly, it was also with an 11-4 record on that week too. So followed up a 15-1 with 11-4. It's pretty good. I followed up my decent record with a losing record.
Yep,
that's fantastic.
And how?
I'm following my gut this week. I'm going with a new experiment. Gut reaction. That's who I'm picking.
Okay.
It's interesting. Now.
It's kind of what we do every week, but all right.
I mean, I usually let people convince me of other options. I'm not doing it this week.
You shouldn't do that, Rob, because you're a registered voter, and
that's true. And I voted today.
And you shouldn't let other people sway. You just got to go with your gut.
And if you're listening to this, then I hope you voted yesterday, or it is possible that it's possible that it goes up today. But
I told I told you I'd make a big time play today. I actually didn't tell you that, but I just made a big time play.
Oh shit!
Tom Brady has a bye week this week, and I need a quarterback. And I may have added the
Don't do it.
the only
Don't do it.
Jameis Winston.
Oh no!
It is a waiver, so I'm sure people will be jumping off the boats to get Jameis Winston. But I got no quarterback. I have no quarterbacks on the bench. Got to do it.
I feel you, man.
And if not that, I'll have to go with like Ryan Tannehill or
both of the QBs that I drafted are no longer on my team, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a good life here in fantasy.
There's Fitzpatrick.
But we should talk about real football, though, because
that's true.
People can't see our fantasy teams.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about real football. We had some games. Real football. Real people, not actors.
Dun, 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 dun.
Same, but different.
So let's talk about man, all our teams lost, even Bear.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it was a wild week for the podcast, huh?
It was. So I guess let's just open up with the 49ers Cardinals. That was Thursday night. Anybody watch that one?
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah, I watched a bit of it. Honestly, the Cardinals were played pretty well. In the second half, at least. They caught back up. Kyler Murray was being a problem. 49ers still good, though. Honestly, the 49ers are just like an old school football team. They just play defense and they run the ball. And then they just do like some accurate passing when they need to, which is like a pretty solid formula to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the old, like the actual old, what's his face? Now I forget his fucking name.
What's his face?
You know what I'm talking about, the guy, the Joe Montana guy. Joe Montana guy, the dude who coached him that I forget the name of.
Joe Montana?
No.
Mike Ditka.
Is it the West Coast offense guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you mean now. It's
I forget his damn
what was
name.
his name? They always said it with all the West Coast offense people. West Coast offense was
Pete Carroll.
Bill Walsh.
Bill Walsh. Yeah,
Bill Walsh.
Bill
that's
damn
it.
Walsh. Yeah, but it does kind of feel like the old school Bill Walsh system.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, by the way, is in a roundabout way, it's credited to Bill Walsh and it's credited to the San Francisco 49ers. But in a roundabout way and indirectly, it's technically the Browns system. So,
Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Because what's his face? Walsh was he was a coordinator for Paul Brown. And he even said in an interview, like when he went to San Francisco, he's like, everybody's calling it the West Coast offense, but it's basically just the same offense we were running under Paul Brown in Cincinnati. So, in a roundabout way, the West Coast system is because of the Browns.
Well, I think it's the system they run. It's like literally from Mike Shanahan. I was talking about it last week, where it's like watching his old Denver teams and stuff, where they just Terrell Davis, and John Elway, and they just kind of play defense and roll with it. And I mean, it worked for them. They were like first and second every year for a long time. So I mean, I think they're just doing it the best, clearly, because it's his son, and they've been bad for a while. They got a bunch of good players now. And then Packers have tried doing it. It's been working up until last week, and I guess against Philadelphia. And then the Rams kind of do a system of it. But I mean, honestly, 49ers, this is going to be their test. I mean, this was a good test. They only won by 3. So
yeah.
But Garoppolo had 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. Solid game for him. Matt Breida had 78 yards. Tevin Coleman only had 23 yards. The thing is, they have like so many running backs too. I think that's probably their biggest thing. And I think when you play this type of offense, the biggest threat you have is towards the end of the season and getting injuries.
Yeah.
So, because you're just constantly running the ball, so you're getting beat up every play. And they've already had some running back, like, injuries and questionables and all that. Like, I think Breda got beat up. Coleman had something, and Mostert, the other guy, was a little hurt. So, yeah, I don't know. Emmanuel Sanders, though, had 112 yards and a touchdown in his debut.
Yeah. Breda's at 5.3 average yards per carry on the year right now on 99 attempts, which is great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna break 1,000 yards by the end of the year.
Yeah,
which shouldn't be that surprising because he kind of had his breakout last year a little bit. But he's actually only got one touchdown, funnily enough.
It's because Tevin Coleman gets the touchdowns. They run it. Tevin Coleman, this is what he did in Atlanta. So he currently has 5 touchdowns on the season and 355 yards. But that's what he would do in Atlanta. They just, anytime you need short yardage, they just bring in Coleman. He just pounds it. So, I mean, they're looking good. I don't think they're going to go undefeated, but I mean, they'll probably get a first-round bye at this point.
I mean, I honestly, like, I don't know. They might go undefeated. Let's see. What else do they got?
They got a harder.
Okay, this is when it picks up.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they're probably not going to go undefeated, but you know.
Yeah, it's
so you're saying there's a chance.
Seahawks twice, Rams, Saints, Packers, Ravens, and then the only easy game in there is the Falcons, and even they play the Cardinals again, but even then it's like Cardinals at least gave them a fight, so I don't know. Falcons is going to be the easiest one.
How cursed would it be if they actually end this season 8-8?
That would be a Buffalo Bills special.
That would be very funny.
It sure would.
Oh man!
Like, is this the greatest team of all time? And they're 8-8.
Yeah.
I am happy that I picked up Emmanuel Sanders though and started him. So.
I'm jealous. Yeah.
And I was going up against Krendor, which made it even better.
Yep. Then we had a barn burner game in London. 26-3, Houston defeated the Jaguars. Last time I'll be picking the Jaguars. Then again, they got Nick Foles coming back.
So, did they? When does he come back? Next week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gardner Minshew mania is over for now.
That's
I like how Rob started the Minshew, but picked against them.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I expected it to be less one-sided. I mean, I expected it to be one-sided, but I didn't expect it to be that one-sided.
The thing is, I keep thinking of the Jaguars as like the AFC Championship Jaguars, when really they've like lost half those players.
Yeah.
So
at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, they're kind of just right now like a 6-10 team probably.
Why do we keep sending teams to London?
I don't.
They want a team.
Why do we keep doing this?
Yeah, I don't like it.
They're so bad. Like they really want to expand.
It's the National Football League for America.
Honestly, like beyond, I would love international teams, but I don't know. I mean, the NFL probably has better numbers than I do, but from what I understand, like Germany has a pretty solid base of American football fans. I feel like if we're gonna go anywhere, you should get out the Berlin or something.
I think
you can't go see the crowds, Rob.
I think the issue of it is the time zone changes are very, very bad.
Well, like theoretically, if we had a team in London, the time zones wouldn't be so bad if it was East Coast teams playing against the London team.
Mm-hmm.
It would be really bad if it was West Coast versus East Coast, because going from the East Coast to London is the same distance basically as going from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States. So like the thing that would really suck is if a West Coast team had to play the London.
Yeah.
But other than that, it is feasible. Like it is like within the realm of reason. With that said, though, it's easier to go east to west than it is to go west to east.
Than across an entire ocean to another continent.
Well, there's not a huge difference. Again, like I said, it's the same distance going from east to west versus west to east. Like, you know, it's the same difference if you're on the East Coast. It's right in the middle between the West Coast and Europe. So
But
like,
it's on a different continent, Rob.
well, yeah.
Well, they've had their fair share of fantastic games over there, like Bears, Raiders, Panthers, Buccaneers, Bengals, Rams, and now the
Well, that's the thing that I really don't get
Jaguars.
about it is that, like, if they want to promote the game over in Europe, why are you sending them such garbage games all the time?
Probably because they're like, we don't want to play there.
Yeah.
They just object. So they're like, send the Bengals. Nobody gives a shit what they do.
You know, I've never, out of all the years of watching football, I only just now realized that I hate the Jaguars uniforms because the freaking tongue is blue.
Oh, yeah, it is
eyes.
blue.
And
like
the
they
nose.
Blue eyes.
How did I never notice that until just now?
I don't know.
Why
Yeah,
why
it's-
is the tongue blue?
It's like he
Dude,
drank Kool-Aid.
I've got a
Yeah.
bone to pick with like most NFL teams, to be honest. You know how many fucking teams where their color schemes are red, white, and blue? It's like 7 teams out of like 32. So you have so many goddamn teams that have red as their primary color, and then even more teams, including the fucking Jets now, that are just lazy and are just like, you know what? Black is also a team color because black goes well with everything, and fuck you. So it's just like, it's so lazy. Like, get some more fun colors, man.
Yeah,
In general.
Yeah.
I agree.
God forbid it be American football.
Well, I mean, American football is one thing, but if it's the red, white, and blue team versus all the other red, white, and blue teams, then what's the point of colors in the first place?
Well, it's like if we're gonna go internationally, why not just put a team in Canada first? Like we already have it in baseball and we do it
Yeah.
in hockey. Like, might as well just throw a team in Canada and just like test out that.
I don't know why they don't do that, actually. Maybe.
Who are we? The Wildcat. Who are we gonna be? The Wildcat.
Yeah, we could
They
have
should
the
just-
Winnipeg Wildcats.
The NFL should just buy the CFL, honestly.
They probably should
Get,
just make it their like
8 new teams.
minor
I mean,
league
like
team
the
or something.
CFL is, yeah, it's just the farm league for the NFL anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not really, because the CFL doesn't really allow a great number of American players.
That's
So you
racist,
can't-
Rob.
So you can't really farm it too well, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Sure
well,
they can. They got lots of places to grow up there, eh?
Italy. They got Northern Line up there.
That's true.
Crazy stuff. Deshaun Watson had 2 touchdowns, 200 yards, 22 of 28. So he had a good day.
Yeah.
And Carlos Hyde, 160 yards. Oh my God, he averaged 8 yards a carry, 8.4, to be exact.
Yeah.
Literally.
And
just-
Watson rushed 7 times too.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good old fashioned blowout.
Oh yeah.
Then we had
Deshaun Watson. Also became the third quarterback in Texans history to win 20 career wins.
wow, that's
20
boy.
plus.
that's something.
It's pretty bad.
Yep. Then we had the Eagles Bears. I got the honor of watching a good part of this game because it was on TV.
Yeah.
And what I learned is the Eagles are a solid, like, just, they're a good team. They're not a bad team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. But sometimes good teams can get hot and go on a roll. So, I mean, you never know.
I mean, especially out of the NFC East too.
Yeah. Carson Wentz did all right, 239 yards, a touchdown. Jordan Howard playing his old team, 82 yards and a touchdown. Zach Ertz tore it up, 103 yards and a touchdown. And, man, the Bears' offense
My God,
is
their offense is just god awful.
garbage. It's really
Ooh.
bad.
It's
like-
down there with like the Browns and Bengals offense.
Yeah, it's honestly not even. Oof.
Remember all the posts or the preseason and off-season hype surrounding Khalil Mack and that defense going.
Mhm.
They finally brought the entire team together. Now it's well-rounded.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
well-rounded
biggest,
like a Snorlax.
The biggest issue they have is that their offense sucks so bad that it's just constant defense. So their defense is gassed by like the second quarter. And so it's like, well, now what?
like play 4.
I
We
mean-
can't do this anymore.
I kind of hate to say it, but it feels like it's Mitch Trubisky.
It is.
He's not very good. He
He-
cannot get the ball out. And when he does, like if he's pressured in any way, he'll just throw it. I mean, he's completely inaccurate.
Yeah.
I would still take him over Jameis Winston, but he gets hurried so badly, and he rushes a lot of those throws. That's why you just as someone who is a fantasy football god, let me tell you right now that if you're starting anyone on the Bears offense, I would not. I would strongly advise it.
Yeah. I agree with that. Trubisky had 10 of 21 for 125 yards. What a stat line.
That's pretty bad.
David Montgomery, 40 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It's like Sammy D.
That's the Jets line.
Yeah.
I've ever seen one.
Taylor Gabriel, the leading receiver, 69 yards, 3 catches. I actually heard his post-game interview, and he was like, "Man, this shit's like pissing me off." And I was like, "Yeah, I could feel that."
What do you think they do? You think they address it this offseason?
They have to. Like,
I mean, like, it's all well and good to say that they have to, because we as fans see obvious things all the time, but then often we see front offices being like, what do you mean obvious thing? I don't see obvious thing. I see other thing that I've made up just now. So
Chicago sports media sure sees it, because every time I turn on the radio the day after, they're just like, "What's Ryan Pace, the general manager, even thinking? Look at these shit picks. You got Trubisky you traded up for. You got Adam Shaheen in the second round. He hasn't done shit except fumble the ball at the end of the game. Then you got, I don't know, they had some other people they took that are bad. So everyone's like freaking out at the GM. And they're like, what's Nagy doing? He won coach of the year last year. And now he's just like, I haven't got to run the ball, but I didn't run the ball. But now I got to pass the ball. But he's pretty much like spinning circles of like, I don't know what to do with this bad quarterback, so I'm just gonna start saying shit. So they're kind of a dumpster fire right now, primarily on offense, which is ruining their defense. And man, it feels great because I don't care.
He can run a little bit too, right? Like Trubisky.
He can, but he had a shoulder injury, so people think he's like kind of worried about that. He doesn't want to get hit. So it's just they play the Lions this week, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the Lions will win.
I think you might be right.
They actually have a quarterback, so that's gonna help them.
I mean, how much did the Bears change since last season? They finished 12-4.
Well, they lost Jordan Howard, who ran against them for 82 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah,
so that helps.
They also had Trubisky out for a couple of weeks.
And they actually were competitive.
They were 12-4 last season.
They were, yes.
Yeah. But like, this is one of those things too, right? Like, often, I mean, we're seeing it effectively, like, very heavily this year. A lot of times teams will take some time before they can figure out a QB when he comes out of the draft. Usually it's like one season. But and then, they can oftentimes, especially in their second year, just like turn to shit for at least the season or for the rest of their careers. So it's kind of the weird, and we're seeing it now with Baker and
you get film on the guy, and once you get that film, it's like that kind of messes. It was like week 1 when the Packers played the Bears. They beat Trubisky. And after the game, they were like, how'd you do it? And they were like, oh, we made him play quarterback. So it's not a good sign when that's what other teams are saying about you, because that's all people have been doing to them every week now, and it's showing.
They're just real bad. Just real bad. Like Buccaneers bad.
Yes.
Figure out that Shrub situation, man.
Yeah, like Trubisky, here's his stat line so far. Against the Packers, 228 yards and a pick. Then against Denver, 120 yards. Then against Washington, 3 touchdowns and an interception, 231 yards. Whoa, watch out. Minnesota, he had 9 yards. That's the game he got injured in. Then he played against New Orleans and had 251 yards, 2 touchdowns, pretty much all in garbage time after they were down like 30 points. Then the Chargers, 253 yards and a pick. And then last week, 125 yards. So
here's a quick trivia for you, Coach and Rob. I'll give you I'll give you a leeway of let's say 20 yards.
Okay.
How many total yards did the Bears get in the first half? I'll give you a leeway of 20.
Man, it had to be low. They weren't doing anything. It's probably like 40.
I'm gonna say 20.
Rob got it by default because it's single digits. They got 9 total yards
Wow.
in the first half. 9.
Yeah. It was bad. They actually didn't get a first down until the second half, I believe.
You talk about some New York Jet football numbers right there.
That is very New York Jets.
9 total yards in the first half.
That's incredible.
The Philadelphia defense isn't good.
No.
Their offense is. I mean, Chicago's offense is completely catatonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very bad. So that was a game that happened.
Yeah, it was.
Then the Chiefs beat the Vikings. Everyone's like, "Oh, Packers got the easy game against Matt Moore." Look at Matt Moore destroying the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins.
So, from what I understand here in this game, and I didn't watch it entirely, but
right.
from what I saw on Twitter and Reddit, apparently whatever happened in this game was Mike Zimmer's fault. Like, he fucked up timeout management in this game.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, like apparently he screwed the pooch on timeout management at the end of the game, and they like could have tied or won or something, and then
so he pulled an Andy Reid.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
against Andy Reid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to see, like, when I was looking at Twitter after that game, like people in the Vikings fan base are not too happy about Mike Zimmer, and in fact, his record against winning teams since he's been with the Vikings, I don't know if I have the exact number saved. I'll look, but I believe it was something like 13-26.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's Kirk Cousins
like,
numbers.
Yeah.
No, I mean probably close to the same, I'd imagine.
Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
The Chiefs prove that they can win without Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's they're actually, like, after watching them that full game, like, their offense honestly just needs like a veteran quarterback to just get the ball out quick, and that's what Matt Moore can do. So it's like you just a little slant pass Tyreek Hill, he's gone. Like that's just. And then you got Travis Kelce, who's just like Jimmy Graham when he's not 80 years old.
Yeah,
so.
I mean the Chiefs are built like Al Davis's wet dream. So like you just get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, and they'll do it for you.
Damian Williams, 125 and a touchdown running the ball. Like, they're good.
Chiefs offense, man, it's no joke. Andy Reid knows what he's doing.
Finally got back to Kirk Cousins' formula. He threw the ball 38 times and lost. Thank God we're back on that.
But he did throw for 220 yards and three.
He did,
touchdowns.
but Dalvin Cook 71 yards. That's the key. You got to stop Dalvin Cook, and then the offense sputters. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it didn't in the game though. So.
Well, they lost. That's all that matters. Listen, I still think the Vikings are a playoff team. I just have my divisional bias, but I mean they're still the second best team in the division, clearly. Playoffs.
It is wild that they lost this game.
It is, really. Yeah. So it was still a close game. It came down to the last second field goal, honestly, and then the Chiefs made it. So then we had the Steelers beat the Colts. Woo. And this Jacoby Brissett went out in the first half.
And all of us picked Steelers. Or all of us picked Colts, I mean.
Or we all picked Colts. Brian Hoyer, though, came in through 3 TDs and a pick, 168 yards.
That is wild, actually.
Yeah. Good old Brian Hoyer.
Hoyer the destroyer, dude. He was ready.
Did Brisket get injured during the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, but apparently he's going to be okay for next week from what I've heard.
Oh, that's good at least.
My sources tell me he will be okay next week. My sources happen to be Roto World and like some Reddit posts and Twitter.
And the little yellow notification on Yahoo. On the
So that's honestly, like, it seemed like it was a close game. I believe the Colts had a chance to win it at the end, and they missed the field goal.
Oh no!
Because I only know that because the Steelers Twitter said no good, and everyone was like, "Woo!" So I was like, "Oh, they missed the last second field goal."
Oh yeah, here it comes.
Yep,
oh
there's the
no!
kick, and it's not even close.
Adam
Yay!
Vinatieri, his second blown kick. Or wait, is that his? I think he's blown 2 kicks this year, right?
He's blown a couple this year, I think.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because I think it's like this might be his last one.
Oh, it definitely. Dude's like 50 years old.
Yeah.
Remember when he was kicking for a young rookie Eli or Peyton Manning?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been in the league, I think, longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So like, it's
he was kicking for like Tom
it's
Brady.
It's time, but like still.
His first year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Steelers had Chris Boswell go 4 for 4 for field goals, so that made a difference. They also had Trey Edmonds run for 73 yards. I swear they just pull these guys out of a hat. They're just like, who's running the ball this week? How about Trey Edmonds? And our leading receiver will be Jalen Samuels. Like, who are these people? And Mason Rudolph did okay. 191, a TD, a pick. Good enough.
Yeah.
And now, don't look, but the Steelers are 4-4, and they can actually probably get a wild card. Maybe a division, but Ravens.
Don't look. Don't look.
Yeah, don't look. Don't look. So Colts still good at 5-3. I think they'll be all right, but that was just it's an interesting game.
I mean that North is still open, but yeah, go on.
Yeah. Well,
Game of the week.
Game of the week. The New York Football Jets being defeated by the tanking Miami Dolphins.
And who was the genius who picked it? This guy right here.
Listen,
this guy,
I almost picked it.
Mr. 15-1.
I did say that I hope that the Dolphins win, and I was right to hope that. It was embarrassing.
If
just
you
about
brought
as
up the
embarrassing
stat
as I
line
hope.
that the Dolphins' leading rusher would be Mark Walton at 29 yards, you would think, wow, this team definitely didn't win.
Our team is so bad that we took one of the best running backs in football and made him look like a bum. Like straight up. Like there's no, and you know what? I can tell you that it's not because he's fallen off. Because I've watched the games and I see this motherfucker on every play, and he is fighting his goddamn ass off on every fucking play. Like he'll get the ball and then he'll have 3 dudes around him. And he'll try, like he'll make it sometimes, and that's why he even has any yards at all this year, is because he's so good.
He still got me 20 points.
Yeah, I mean it's embarrassing. It's shameful, and I tell you the truth, it should have meant that Adam Gase was fired immediately after this game. This is a team that is almost certainly tanking on purpose, and we lost to them. And you know what? It's not even just injuries anymore, because a lot of our guys are back now.
Yeah.
And it is like the team is trash. I don't know if did you guys see the picture of Adam Gase on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah.
I tweeted that to you guys.
Yeah.
I got it right here. Let me just drop it in the old link room.
Yeah, put it in the Foos and Balls chat
there
so that people
is.
at home can see it.
I mean,
yeah, it's just embarrassing. I mean, this is what happened in Miami too. Like we're 8 games in, and this is what happened in Miami. That's what all the fans and the players said, is that like he alienated the entire team. No one liked him, and he couldn't get any kind of leadership going. Look at that picture. He's already fucking done it, dude. Like this guy, I told you after week 1, he seemed dejected and that he had given up on the season. He is out. He's checked out. He doesn't want to do this.
Well, he was reportedly told by Jets executives if he loses, he's out.
Yeah.
If he loses what?
The game.
To the Dolphins.
Did you see that?
But the upper level Jets brass told him if he loses to Miami, he's done.
And he's still on the team.
This is from Andy Slater, who's a Fox Sports 640 guy. He said, Slater scoop, Adam Gase was told by a Jets executive before game that he would be fired if they lost. Sources who heard the comment tell me the exchange happened shortly after another member of Jets front office was taken by ambulance to hospital complaining of chest pains.
Oh, so what we're learning is that Adam Gase is actually Heisenberg and Rysoned one of the other staff to try to give himself cover so he wouldn't get fired.
I mean, the dude eats crack before every game. have you seen his eyes?
It is like
he's like one of those, like, Adam Gase is one of those weird anime characters who always have the weird eyes, like Rock Lee or just name another anime character. Like, you know how they're all like really weirdly drawn? That's Adam Gase.
Yeah.
He's essentially an anime character.
So
there's not a good one.
There's an ancient adversary in Jets fandom lore, and that is Rich Kotite. Okay, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him.
Sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah, he's one of the worst coaches in NFL history. And he was the Jets coach, and he had a horrible, just horrible. He was just terrible in the 90s, right? Okay, if you read about him, it really is a joke how bad he was.
Yeah.
Adam Gase is approaching Kotite levels. We actually haven't had that since Kotite. Like, I thought Bowles was bad. I thought Adam Gase was going to be bad. I didn't think he was going to be as bad as Bowles. He is worse. He might be the worst that we've ever had. It's possible. Depending on how this season goes, this might be the worst hire that the Jets have ever had at head coach. And I just want to remind everyone at home that every fucking motherfucker, not just me, I'm not the only one who's going to claim this. Every motherfucker in both the Jets fandom and fandoms of probably 31 other teams were like, what the fuck are they doing? That is the worst possible choice.
I remember when I heard the news, I was laughing in the gym when I read it.
I remember, wasn't it read to? It was read to me on stream, if I remember. Yes, yes.
I read it to you.
Yes, I remember, and I handled it very poorly. I was very upset about that news.
And how?
And you know what? We're 1-7 now, and we just lost to a legitimately tanking team. So I feel pretty validated in that anchor.
Yeah. I really hope they hire Mike McCarthy next year, because either he like leads you to the promised land and I'm like, dude, I told you this guy's like a solid coach, but after a while he's bad, or he'll be bad and I'll be like, I told you he's bad.
Isn't it great to always be right and cover your bases?
It is.
That's what all NFL coaches do. I believe that the term that we used whenever it was announced that Gase was hired by the Jets was, that's very Jets-like of them.
Yeah.
So it's,
and to think we passed up on Cliff Kingsbury, who's now in Arizona, who's leading them to a promising future.
Yeah.
I mean,
would you look at that?
When a coach loses the locker room, that's just done.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
it's
coach
gone.
that can recover from that.
I mean, that's like what happened with McCarthy. Was he's not? I don't think he's a bad coach. Well, he was a good coach, and then I think he kind of got outdated in his schemes, and then he just lost the locker room. And then once you lose the locker room, it's like, just move on.
It's over, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least it's looking up for you, Rob, because he ain't going to be there much longer.
Well, I mean, you know, apparently they put their foot down and said they were going to fire him after this game, but he's still not fired, and it's been, 2 days? So he's not I've made this post on the Jets subreddit a couple of times already, but it's just like people are like, oh man, Gase he's got to be fired after this, right? He's got to be fired by the end of the week. He's got to be fired by the end of the year. I was like, and I've made this comment several times, like, haha, funny joke. It's the Jets. He's going to get fired 3 years from now. That's when he's going to be fired as the head coach of the Jets.
It feels
That's
like,
what I expect, honestly. And I think I'm probably right, honestly.
Feels like we went through this last year with Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
It's constantly like, Todd Bowles has to be fired now.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
it's amazing.
But who wants that job, though, is the thing.
Yeah.
They gotta, as soon as they find a proper prospect, of course he's gone. But like, to me, that just says like, oh, they just didn't find anyone that actually wants this job. Who wants to be coach of the Jets?
I mean, the thing is,
they'll ask Rob.
we had people last year who want, like, McCarthy was legitimately in talks with us. Like, Kingsbury was in talks with us. Like, Matt Rule was in talks with us. But he got ousted because the front office, because they're so fucking brilliant, said, oh, you know what? Fuck you, Matt Rule. You don't get to pick your own staff. We're going to pick your staff for you because we know better. And so Matt Rule said, fuck you. I'm not going to do that. And then they said, yeah, we know so well, we pick Adam Gase. It's just like, it's just in my mind.
You can hear the pain in his voice.
Oh, so much pain. So much. It's the only, and actually, hold on. This is the cherry on top. This is the real cherry on top, because after that game, obviously the subreddit was in disarray, so I wanted to look at the fan base's opinions. And I am making no fucking jokes with you right now. None at all. There was extensive discussion and debate from the fan base about whether or not we should draft Chase Young, a defensive end, first overall pick in the upcoming draft.
Yep.
I am going to blow my brains out. Fucking kill me. I swear to God, honestly, if we do that, if we end up doing that, I don't think I can be a Jets fan anymore. I know I make that threat a lot. I don't think I can. I think at that point I have to, for my own sanity.
Well,
to just stop.
I kind of know your pain, 'cause it's like that's how the Bulls organization has been. It's literally the Jets of basketball. It's actually pretty funny because I got into basketball and they're like, we know what we're doing, and then they like fire a competent coach. They hire some inside guy that nobody likes, and he just keeps being like, we need more hustle, we need more grit. And he's just terrible at drawing up plays and coaching his players. So everyone's like, what if we just get a coach that, like, coaches? And I'm like, man, I'm going to turn on the Packers so I can watch a winning team, except this week. So
the Jets are the biggest circus in the NFL right now, though.
Yeah,
we're cursed as fuck. I mean, this is let me put it this way: if we are not the bottom of the NFL power rankings this week, then a horrible error has been.
Don't worry, Rob. We'll get to that shortly.
The only other note on from this game: Ryan Fitzpatrick, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So. Moving on, we had the Redskins fall to the Buffalo Bills. Dwayne Haskins had 144 yards in a Trubisky stat line. Hey, second game overall, he's already Trubisky. And he had the help of good old Adrian Peterson, 108 yards on the ground.
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
Who I picked up off waivers against Coach. I felt pretty happy about that because pick someone off waivers, you think, oh man, I hope they get 5 points. He got me 11.
I was like, what are you doing, Buffalo Bills? Stop Adrian Peterson. He's like 40 years old. He's not even good anymore. So that made me upset. But hey, then the Bills had Josh Allen 160 yards and a TD. Devin Singletary ran for 95 and caught 45, had a touchdown, so I'm happy I played him, even though I lost.
Hurdled a man.
He hurdled a man. Honestly, I'll be starting him from here on out just because he hurdled a man. And he gets a lot of points.
Have you noticed, by the way, since we started, I'm not saying that there's some kind of voodoo magic with the podcast, but all I'm saying is since we had the hurdled a man meme, there have been a lot more man hurdling in the NFL.
That's true. Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't have happened had we not started the hurdle a man.
I agree.
And something else that I notice every single week, an increase, a marked increase in the number of times commentators say big time players make big time plays. I'm just saying.
Said it a lot.
I've heard it like 20 times now this season. I've never heard it before the season started.
I even heard some players
we got
saying
secret
it.
fans. We got secret fans, man.
We do.
Fucking Skip Bayless, shout yourself out if you're in the comments right now. Stephen A. Shannon Sharp.
Yeah. Oh my God, I wanted to bring up the Fox Sports pregame show because I used to watch it all the time as a kid because I'd be up early as being a kid.
Right.
And so I'd watch that, and I'd be like, oh, this is fun. I'd like watch all the shows. And then I haven't seen one in forever. So they're all like super boomers now, like 80 years old.
Yeah.
So Terry Bradshaw's like, I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. And I'm like, oh my God, those concussions are hitting hard in old
these
age.
kids with the newfangled telephones and the football.
All I did was I turned it on. No joke. I turned it on, and I heard Tony Gonzalez go, I'm going to be picking the Buffalo Bills by 2 points against, who are they playing?
Yeah, I did see that, yeah.
And I was like, how do you not know who they're playing? Like, are they just feeding you who to pick into the little earpiece? Like, did you just forget?
Gotta be on loads of screens in front of them, too.
Yeah. Like, it blew my mind. Then Jimmy Johnson's like, oh, they're playing the Redskins, Sonny. Oh. It's like,
I think he just like had a mid-sentence brain fart.
He probably did. He just had like a mini stroke or something.
In
but
fairness, who's paying attention to the Redskins anyway? So
that's true. But
You know this was a great game when we're talking about the Fox Sports morning show.
and then like they're all standing on that like little mini fake football field, and they're just like, whoa, and I was like, man, I used to watch this thing.
yeah, dude, back in the day, like here's the thing, there was only one real good show pre-show, which was the Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN, when you had Chris Berman and Tom Jackson.
Yeah,
those dudes were the OGs.
Yes,
but they're gone, and it sucks.
But
major
they're
dicks
back
now.
on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I heard that Berman's back, right?
Yeah, Berman and Tom Jackson are back on ESPN Plus doing NFL Prime Time.
Wait, Tom Jackson's back too?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, and if I didn't have to pay for ESPN Plus, I'd probably watch it.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a very shoot yourself in the foot move. Oh, hey, what's something that fans don't like about our about the ESPN right now? Commentators. What do fans like about what we used to do? Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. I know what we'll do. We'll make sure that the least amount of possible fans will be able to experience Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. Let's do that. That'll work.
It's got
sure.
a paywall. It's a paywall, Rob.
Yeah.
Video games do it all the time.
I was reading Walter Football's blog, and he was like, man, I can't wait to record this on my VHS. It'll be great. But all I remember from that was just, he'd do the like, Olindo Amare, whoa, and then he's like, he could go all the way. And then you had the like, and
then every juke he would hit you with a whoop.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Don't forget his Mike Allstott calls. Just rumbling.
Also, Chris Berman is the Raiders guy. The
Oakland Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was honestly great commentary. I think he was addicted to pills or something. But you know what? If he can get the calls right and not be like, who are they playing? Then, whatever. Do your pills.
Bring this man back.
Yeah, just whatever. By the way, I want to bring up the Bills' schedule. They play the Browns, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Broncos, the Cowboys. Like, at this point, the Bills can get 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah, I think
the only challenging
they
teams.
might run the table.
Well, they play the Ravens and the Patriots again, and I don't know if they're going to beat those.
I don't know. I mean, if they go in with like momentum to those games,
because
they're winnable.
They almost beat the Patriots, who lost to the Ravens. Therefore, the Bills can beat
like the Bills, I think, will be a playoff team if everything goes right.
Absolutely, yeah. I think
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I think barring any kind of like injury disaster, they're definitely going to be a playoff team at this point.
Yeah,
like for
playoffs.
sure.
Playoffs. Talking about playoffs. Then we had the Panthers-Titans, which I almost picked the Titans. Thank God I didn't.
Yeah, I picked the tits.
I was like, oh wait, the Titans can't stop the run. Oh, okay. Christian McCaffrey, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it for you.
Can't stop the run. Can't stop the run.
He also had 3 catches and a touchdown through the air too.
And I'm kind of scared because they play the Packers next week, and we can't stop the run.
Oh, he's gonna fucking wreck you guys.
Unless we like do some super scheming or something, and like I'm not feeling too good.
Can we do a Carolina McCaffrey's check, by the way? Because their QB scored 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey scored 3. They're the Carolina McCaffreys.
Oh, they are.
Like, straight up.
They're the Carolina McCaffreys. And Kyle Allen, 2 TDs, a pick, 232 yards. And news today, Cam Newton has been placed on the IR. So it could be the end here for Cam Newton, honestly.
I think it probably is. I mean, unless he wants to keep playing, I think they probably trade him.
They proved that they can happily depend on one other player than him now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the 49ers have placed Quan Alexander on the IR. I think he was playing pretty all right this year, so that's a little bit of a blow to them, although I'm sure they have more players. But either way, the Panthers pretty much dominated. Titans Titans looked like a solid 7-9 team.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they'll end up going. Maybe 8-8 if they have a good run.
I was gonna say 8-8, but
yeah.
Honestly, I think I'm the curse on the Titans. Every time I pick them, they lose. Like, so I think from now on, for Tennessee viewers, I won't do it anymore. I won't do it to you. The bad man won't hurt you anymore.
Well, it's kind of a tough schedule. They play the Chiefs, the Jaguars they can win, the Colts, the Raiders, the Texans, the Saints, the Texans.
Yeah, I mean that could be a split.
Yeah, I'm sticking 7-9 in that one.
Yeah, yeah, seems solid, honestly.
And the Panthers are now 5-3. They look like they could be pushing for a wild card, especially if they beat the Packers this week. And I don't know. I'll get to that. Then we had the Raiders beat the Lions. It was a close game.
Raiders.
Was this the coin flip game we did? It might have been.
Probably, yeah.
I think, or that might have been the Cowboys Giants. I don't know. There are a lot of coin flip games.
Yeah, it happens.
Stafford had 400 yards, 3 TDs, and a pick. No running game.
Taking over the Matt Ryan Award this week.
We were all emphatically in favor of the Raiders. It was all Raiders.
Okay.
I think the coin flip was was the Giants.
Oh yeah, I think it was. Yeah, Raiders. Honestly, this was another game where I was like, it could go either way, but the Raiders have a running game. I think that's why I picked them, and they did. Josh Jacobs, 2 TDs and 120 yards.
Yep.
Derek Carr was solid, and the Raiders are 4-4.
Yeah, like how good is Derek Carr doing this year? Oh, he's doing actually pretty well. Yeah, like he's doing quite well. In fact,
he's been doing great on my bench.
Yeah, he's got 2K yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Actually,
yeah, it's solid numbers.
It's actually better than Jimmy G right now.
Yeah.
So like he's actually
flying under the radar.
Yeah, despite being on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, that too. By the way, Clelin Ferrell, the Raiders' 4th round selection. I don't believe he has a sack yet, or he has 1. So if you look at Clelin Ferrell's stats, he has
our first round D lineman also has 1 sack on the he's a generational talent, guys. Generational.
Well, someone get the rope. We gotta tie Rock down.
Get a fucking hose. Honestly, you gotta spray me to stop me.
Don't give him the rope. Don't give him the rope.
Don't give him the rope, guys.
Someone hit him with a
keep away from the bleach. Don't let him near it.
Okay.
Give him the straight jacket and the padded room.
So yeah, he has got 1 sack and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tackles. Ooh, I almost thought I had to use more than 2 hands. Well, yeah, that's a 4th round pick we laughed at, and I'm still laughing at it, but maybe it's got potential. On the flip side, they could have taken Josh Allen. His stats are a lot better. He has, well, actually, that's Josh Allen other Josh Allen. Josh Allen, 2019. Here we go. He has 7 sacks and 18 tackles. So double the tackles and a lot more sacks. So they could have taken him, but the Raiders don't really like having pass rushers. So, as we've learned. That's the Jets. So that was it's a game. Lions still not in last place. That belongs to the Bears because of that tie. So good for you, Lions. And the referees also helped. So then we had the Buccaneers Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh boy. Sure did, Coach.
It looked like the Seahawks were going to lose for a bit, and then it became a shootout.
Nope.
And turns out Russell Wilson will beat you in a shootout if you're Jameis Winston. Or maybe anybody else in the league.
Coach, you know I said it because it's in our group chat. You can look at the timestamp, Coach.
Yep.
I said, and I quote, they will lose spectacularly in Bucs fashion. And boy, howdy do they look like they make me look like a genius.
Yep. It's
I mean,
oof.
Credit where credit's due. Jameis Winston, he didn't throw an interception. And let me tell you how quick the Jameis defenders and Jameis apologists and also Bruce Arians were quick to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Jameis, he didn't have any interceptions this week, so good on you, Jameis. You're not supposed to throw interceptions, you idiot. That's like saying, I ain't never been to jail. You're not supposed to go to jail.
Yeah.
You don't get a merit in my mind for doing what you're supposed to be doing. I don't know how many times I gotta tell people that. You don't earn a cookie from me for doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not impressed. You do not impress me, Jameis Winston.
I will
never
say,
will.
Mike Evans, 180 yards and a touchdown. Great numbers from Mike Evans.
And another wasted effort. Which and he again was very not pleased at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Don't blame him at all.
Famously coming off of last week saying, I'm effing tired of losing.
Yeah.
And they went out and lost again to a much better and competent team. And Russell Wilson is what Jameis Winston wishes he was.
Oh, yeah. 378 yards and 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's DK Metcalf had 123 and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett 152 and 2 touchdowns. And don't look now, but they have Josh Gordon.
Yeah, and that's just going to make them scarier. The only thing bad about Josh Gordon going to Seattle is that if anyone out there starts a Seattle receiver now, you have it's a grab bag. Like, good luck.
Yeah. Here's the
in
thing,
fantasy,
like,
I mean, of course.
The Packers are going to make the playoffs, but I'm scared. I'm very scared of like all the other NFC. Like the NFC is kind of stacked when you look at it.
So, by the way, side note.
Yeah.
Can I just say that I think there is one person who is far and away leading the pack on MVP, on the MVP conversation.
Oh, it's Russell Wilson.
That is Russell fucking Wilson.
Yeah.
I didn't because I knew he's been doing well, but I decided to take a look. He's got 2,500 yards, 22 touchdown passes to 1 interception on the year.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Jesus fucking Christ.
His passer rating is 118.2 right now. Second is Pat Mahomes at 113.1.
That's why. And Wilson's played every game, right?
Yeah.
Like compared to Mahomes.
Yep.
And he's got 3 more touchdowns on top of that on the ground too.
Yeah. And
Jesus Christ.
Here's the other crazy thing. He actually has the 8th most passes completed, and he's not even in the top 10 for passes attempted.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's actually insane. So I would honestly
what happens
make
when you have a good core of receivers and also a competent quarterback.
Yeah.
And his offensive line isn't even that great.
No, they're not.
So it's kind of insane.
They're winning. Bucks now fall to a paltry 2-6. Congrats, Bruce. Good job, Bucky.
I don't even like the Seahawks, but hey, man, they're doing it.
There was never a point, even when the Bucks were up by 21 points before they had 21 points before the first half. I was like, yeah, we're going to lose this. There was zero doubt in my mind that we weren't going to lose this.
Yeah,
I know that feeling all too well.
That's not me just being a negative Nancy. That's just the God's honest truth. I've seen it happen. It happens every single game this season. The Buccaneers, they look great for 2 quarters, and then they just Jameis it up.
You know, I gotta say too, one of those Jameis touchdowns probably should have been a pick.
Yes, it was incredibly lucky that Godwin even caught that.
Yeah, because I don't know, like if anybody at home didn't see the game,
it was Rashad Perriman, not Godwin.
Yeah, like if anybody didn't see the game, Jameis rifles it into triple coverage. Obviously, it pings up in the air, and luckily didn't get picked. And then there's another receiver behind who grabs it out of the air and just walks into the touchdown.
It was sheer dumb luck that wasn't an interception. It was a terrible decision to throw, which surprise, surprise, it has been happening since 5 years ago. But like I'm not even exaggerating with how quick people were to defend and point out the fact, giving him a little gold star on his nose. Jameis didn't throw an interception. It's like, Mike, this is the state of the Buccaneers fandom right now. There are 2 very clear, defined factions. It's either you hate Jameis and you hate the way things are going, or you're just wrong. And that's just how it's been for this entire season. And man, I am so sick of seeing, like, I don't do the Rob thing. I don't go to the Bucks sub. I do go to the Bucks subreddit, but I never post because there's just no reason to talk to any of these people. They're all insane. I mean, like I can't say it enough. I'm not exaggerating with how many people were proud of him. He played hard. For once, we can't blame Jameis. He didn't throw an interception. You're not supposed to throw an interception.
Yeah,
you don't get a gold star for that.
It's well, the Buccaneers currently are 8th in the NFL draft order, which is actually kind of funny. They're 2-6, and they pick 8th if it ended today. Right now, the Bengals are 0-8, the worst. Then Washington 1-8, Jets 1-7, Miami 1-7, Atlanta 1-7, Giants 2-7, Cleveland 2-6, Buccaneers 2-6.
Yeah.
So, woo! All right, moving on. We had the Packers losing to the Chargers in a depressing game.
Yes, it was.
Handily.
It was. So I watched the whole game, and wow. So it was just the Chargers. I don't know what it was, but they looked very good. The Chargers are another one of those teams where like they either lose to like the Titans, or they like can just beat anybody. And I don't know. Phillip Rivers is part of it. Phillip Rivers he's like Drew Brees light. The guy just like picks you apart. He makes accurate throws. He doesn't miss that much. He had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 294 yards. Melvin Gordon had 80 yards on the ground. Eckler had 70 yards on the ground. Gordon had 2 TDs. But here's the biggest issue, right? Their red zone offense is bad. And I think that's why they are as bad as they are at 4-5. We held them to 4 field goals. It was 12-0 in the third quarter, actually. They had only scored 4 field goals on 4 red zone trips. And our offense just couldn't do anything.
The Packers made the Chargers defense look unbeatable.
It was because I don't know why they didn't help block Bosa or Ingram, but Ingram and Bosa were just constantly at Rodgers. Like, it was just nonstop. He was just beating our tackles. He wasn't getting double teamed. They were just finding mismatches, and he just couldn't get anything going. And then they stopped our running game. Aaron Jones had 30 yards on 8 carries. They just couldn't get anything going.
It did expose an upcoming problem that Green Bay is going to have to keep seeing more and more of, and try to fix, is that it exposed that Rodgers no longer has that mobility that he used to. He's lost a couple of steps being able to take tackles and stuff now. This game proved that, because he really did not have any protection and all. The only reason why I was even invested in this game, not because I like the Packers, but because Rodgers is my fantasy quarterback, and I was watching it and couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, the Chargers look unstoppable right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and quite literally, the O-line for the Packers was not able to stop him, and Rodgers was just stifled and couldn't do anything. And man, am I glad that I didn't. I actually dropped Valdez-Scantling, by the way.
So, yeah,
I got rid of him. He got a total of 0 points this week. So
yeah,
I feel good about that.
Yeah,
it was...
I mean, I think you guys might have woken up Melvin Gordon, which means oops.
A little bit. He wasn't like great, but he was good in spurts. Like he would burst through for a touchdown. He would do pretty all right. Like he wasn't fantastic, but he was definitely better than what he was.
Mike Williams had 3 for 111 out of 4 targets. That's insane.
Jesus Christ.
The other big thing is a lot of times we rely on turnovers. We didn't get any turnovers. They held on to the ball. And then on top of that, we had a punt blocked. We had terrible penalties. It was like it would be 3rd and 1, and then we'd get a false start. It'd be 3rd and 6. We wouldn't get it. Like it was that type of thing where we were just shooting ourselves in the foot. And it'd just be like, well, nice, easy 3rd down conversion becomes a 4th down, and it's a punt block, and they score. It was just, it was one of those games where I feel like they kind of needed that. Yeah, I feel like you always need one of those games to kind of find your weaknesses so you can try and fix them before it gets too late. So I'm not too worried, but I'm kind of worried.
You know, I was just looking at your schedule. And you've got wins against the Bears, Vikes, Broncos, Eagles. No, you lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Wins against the Cowboys, Lions, Raiders, and the Mahomes-less Chiefs. And now a loss to the Chargers. So, like, you know, now that we're halfway through the season, most of those teams outside of the Vikings are not particularly good. But on the bright side, in the future, you've got the Panthers, Niners, Giants, Redskins, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. So, like,
yes,
I don't know. I mean, I think it's still clear sailing to the playoffs for sure. But it is definitely uncomfortable that you guys lost to the Chargers, which shouldn't have been that difficult competition.
I would say, looking at the rest of the schedule, I'd say say we lose to the Panthers 7-3, 7-4, 49ers. Then we go 8-4, 9-4. Even if we only beat one of those divisional opponents in the last weeks, that's like 10-4, 5-6. So probably like 10-6, 11-5. I think is our record at the end of the season, which is still good enough for the playoffs. The biggest thing for me is that you just need to get hot in the final couple of weeks. It's proven time and time again. That's how you do it. I always go back to the one year the Packers went 15-1. We were shredding people. It was the year after we won the Super Bowl, and then the 8-8 Giants come into Lambeau after our bye week in the first round and just destroy us. Like, and then the year before we won the Super Bowl, I thought the season was over. We were like 9-7 at the end, barely make it in, and we just go on a run and beat every team on the road in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. So it's it's once you get hot towards the end, and you can usually tell, like, oh my God, everything's clicking, the defense clicking, the offense is clicking, everything. That's when you feel good about it.
You just got to get into the tournament, man, and then once you're in, it's any given Sunday. Which, by the way, over the weekend, someone brought up because they asked, because I was yelling about the Jets picking defense, and they asked, you know, in soccer they have a saying, which is a saying in football too, which is you know, offense wins you games, defense wins you championships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And, you know, I thought about that now because, I mean, you know, the league has been shifting from that mentality largely where teams have been focusing heavily on defense and instead are focusing heavily on offense now. But I got to say, looking back and thinking about that idiom, logically speaking, that idiom shouldn't have ever told teams to focus on their defense over their offense. It should have done the opposite, right? Because if offense wins you games and defense wins you championships, then surely, and since we know that getting into the tournament is really all you need. I mean, a 9-7 team won the fucking Super Bowl over an 18 or a 16-0 team, right?
Yeah.
So like, you really just need to get into the tournament. So really, you should, if you're an NFL team, if that idiom is in any way true, you should focus on the offense so that you win the games. And by the time you get into the tournament, hopefully you have a better defense than the limited amount of opponents that you're going to have. At most, you're going to have, what, 4? Right?
Yeah.
Like, at most, if you're in the playoffs. You just need to have a better defense than 4 teams.
Yeah.
Not 32. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Playoffs.
Just a little thing I was shower thoughting over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I'm going to give you another quick trivia here, Coach. And again, give you the odds that I gave you for the other one, the Bears game. I'm going to give you 20 yards. How many total yards, did the Packers have in the first half, Coach?
Oof.
Oh, it was bad.
It was indeed bad.
I would probably go with like there's like some Devontae Adams catches. I'm gonna go with like 35.
You got it just barely though. The Packers had 50 total yards, Coach. 50 as in 50 in the first half. That is
big woof.
Astonishingly terrible for a team that has Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback.
Yeah, it was like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. Aaron Rodgers getting sacked on the plays he would actually make. The receivers would drop the ball. Even Devontae Adams dropped the ball, but it was like his first game back. It just wasn't good. So I'm hoping it's just kind of a fluke game. You know, I fix things, and then we just you move on to the next one.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
I think last week I said this feels like a trap game.
Yeah. I kind of felt that too, and now I'm kind of feeling that with the Panthers because they can run the ball, but at the same time, I don't know. Mike Pettin's honestly a pretty solid defensive coordinator. I mean, we still like it's as long as our offense can get going, we can compete with anybody. But once it doesn't, then So I still don't think we're a bad team. I mean, we still.
No, you're 7-2. I don't even want to hear that coming from you.
Yeah,
you just don't know these.
That's true. But
you don't get to earn. You haven't earned the right to say that. To even mention those words. I don't want to hear that.
Every time you lose, it feels like everything's falling apart. But at the same time, every good team loses game. Like there's no team's going to go undefeated aside from the Patriots that one year, and they didn't even win the Super Bowl.
And they didn't even finish undefeated. Yeah.
So
they lost. Went 18-1.
I think
sometimes you need to lose to make you realize, oh, we should probably win.
Yeah. Well, it helps you focus on your flaws. You're like, oh, maybe we need to shore up the run defense. Maybe we got to work on that. Maybe we got to change schemes or adjust or do something. So it's like it does help you.
Making mistakes is a good thing, just in general in life. That's sage wisdom from Robert Alpaca Patrol.
Thanks, Rob.
And I think what happens too is you start being like, oh, we're winning, we're good, and then you don't try as hard, or you feel like it's gonna be a cakewalk, and then you get punched in the mouth, and then you're like, ah, shit. So that's what I'm hoping. We go home, we play the Panthers. It'll be we'll see. And then we actually have a bye week before we play the 49ers. Thank God, because we need all the time we can get before that game.
Yeah.
So then we had the Broncos beating the Cleveland Browns.
Go Browns!
Yeah.
Man, remember when we thought the Browns were going to be good?
God, yeah.
I mean, you and Rob still do. But Bear and I saw it.
I mean, I think I'm off the think they're going to be good train, but I'm still on the supporting them train.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Baker Mayfield, 273 yards and touchdown. Nick Chubb, 65 yards. Odell Beckham at 87 yards catching. But Brandon Allen, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Broncos. Phillip Lindsay, 92 yards and a touchdown. Man, wish I would have played him. Noah Fant, 115 yards and a touchdown. Just a solid game for the Broncos, actually, at home.
looking like they should have a winning record.
Yeah.
Browns fans probably at this point are not feeling too hot about Freddie Kitchens.
Mm-mm.
If I had to guess. You know, I gotta say too, like last year, I think we were all pretty reticent on saying that was a good hire, right?
Yeah,
Because like I think
didn't.
because I think
like
we were all like, wait and see, but I don't know. Like whenever teams go for that interim coach into head coach thing, it very rarely works out. In my experience, anecdotally, of course.
Wasn't Greg Williams their coach at that point?
Yeah, he was he wasn't he was like co-coaching.
Yeah,
like he was their defensive coach,
and he was 5-3. So
yeah.
I mean,
I want the Jets to fire Gase and put Greg Williams as our interim. Like,
yeah,
so fucking bad. But yeah,
they would honestly be better than anything they're gonna do with Adam Gase.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't. Is he doing bad enough to warrant being fired after 1 year? Freddie Kitchens, I mean?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so too.
He's led them to 2-6. He hasn't shown that he's a good coach. In fact, everything has shown he's not a good coach. And on top of that, they're not living up to expectations that they had. And
yeah, I mean, Baker has regressed like hell underneath him.
Yeah. Like
Baker's also a clown, though.
I mean, yeah, but like
he's also aged 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's. I honestly think they got to move on from that and just try something else because it's not working.
He has become the sober Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready for that moniker yet.
He's better than Johnny Football, but
yeah,
he's also a clown. But honestly, I think this is something that he needed.
Mm-hmm.
So he would just shut the hell up and start playing football instead of trying to like be the face of the team.
Yeah. And like pose.
I agree. Now, he's looking like Randy Marsh right now.
I think I think a good couple of servings of humble pie this year will ultimately be good for his career.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, but
Browns.
They are who we all wish they weren't, but they are.
Yeah.
Still the Browns.
Still the Browns. Still gonna be drafting probably decently high.
Yeah.
Then we had the Ravens beating the Patriots. I called it. I called it.
It was your one call this week, Coach. Congrats, but you're still in second place in Pick'ems now.
Yes. Tom Brady didn't do very well. They couldn't run the ball. Edelman was mad. He had some catches. He's like, and the amazing Patriots defense had no answer for the Baltimore Raven offense.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, who does? Honestly, like what
the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, but like when the Ravens offense is on fire, like when it's clicking, no one can stop it. Like it's it's just on. This is why I've been saying this all year, all fucking last year. If they can continue to do this consistently, they will beat anyone.
Yeah,
anyone. You can't. There is no defense in the NFL right now that can account for a player like Lamar Jackson if he, continues to grow and continues to be consistent. Like there is none in the league can handle that. They're gonna have to figure out literally new ways to stop him.
Yeah, it's a three-headed beast. You got Lamar Jackson, and then you have Mark Ingram, 115 yards, 7.7 yards a carry. And then Gus Edwards, 27 yards on 7 carries. He averaged pretty much 4 yards and a touchdown. So, I mean, they just constantly just pound the ball at you. And then when they don't, they'll just, like, fling it up to the tight end or Marquise Brown or something. Or do some screens.
And look at them. They're not even that built for offense. I mean, besides an O-line, like, they're not even really that. If you start Mahomesing this man next year and you get him, like, a bunch of fucking weapons, like, big target tight ends that are fast and go over the top, and like, big outside wide receivers that he can throw up jump balls for. Because I mean, he's got a cannon. He can fucking if he's got like a Mike Evans type. I mean, seriously, he's scary.
Lamar Jackson breaking Michael Vick's record of the most amount of rushing yards in the first 8 games by a quarterback, which was set by Vick for 576 yards.
Yeah,
and that's looking pretty good. But even crazier. Well, this might not be even crazier, but it is kind of crazy. Gus Edwards, the first rushing touchdown of the game, was the first time the Patriots defense have given up a rushing touchdown since Week 14, 2018.
Jesus
wow.
Christ.
That's how good the run defense has been for the Patriots until this game.
That's wild.
That is pretty wild.
It is kind of wild.
It is crazy wild.
Also, Tom Brady now set a different record for 74 different receivers he's thrown a touchdown to. Most in NFL history. He's had 74 different receivers.
That
74.
Is pretty
That's
insane.
Like 7-4.
You could literally make a team and a half out of just the receivers that Tom Brady has thrown to.
Yeah.
He's kind of okay as quarterback.
Yeah,
he's all right. It's not too bad. So that's the Patriots' first loss, and like I was saying, they had to play a real team, and it turns out their defense, I don't think it's elite. I think it's a very good defense, but I don't think it's an elite defense.
I think it is, and I think that this was a bad week for the Patriots.
Here's the other thing. Like we were saying earlier, doesn't matter how good or bad their defense is. It's just got to be better than 4 teams.
Yeah.
And right now, it probably is.
Well, I believe they had that graphic pop up, and it showed they've played like backup quarterbacks and like second-year quarterbacks the whole year. And now they had this game, then they have Mahomes will be back for the Chiefs game in a couple weeks. They've got Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, and they've also got there's another quarterback. It's Deshaun Watson. They got to play the Texans. So
yeah,
they've got some challenges coming up, so we're going to find out a little more about them.
I will say Tommy B is looking a little I know this isn't every year.
Old.
Yeah. I realize it's every year that this is a thing,
yeah.
but like particularly this year, it like the signs of aging are definitely becoming more apparent. With that said, he's still beasting on the year, so
he's
whatever.
Still 2,500 yards, 14 TDs, 5 interceptions.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's let's see. Last year, Tom Brady was 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 4,300 yards. So honestly, he's like on the same path as he was last year, which isn't it's not too bad. However, he has
seen him play. Yeah.
2016, he had a 79 quarterback rating, 73 in 2017, 66 last year, and 60 this year.
Yeah. It's amazing that regression for Tom Brady is still like one of the best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah.
At 42.
Yeah, I know.
Would you take a 65-year-old Tom Brady over a fresh Jameis Winston for your quarterback?
I don't know.
Yeah, I probably would.
Maybe.
Yeah, I probably would.
He would die after like one play, though.
Yeah.
I bet he throws less interceptions than Jameis Winston.
Well, that's probably true, yeah.
Well, finally, we had the Cowboys, Giants. Woo!
Yeah. It turned out to be a humdinger.
Yep. So it was 12-3 Giants at one point, and then the Cowboys.
It was really close for most of the game.
Yeah. And then the Cowboys just came to life. Prescott, 3 TDs a pick, 257. Ezekiel Elliott ran for 139.
I tried to tell Bear, but he forsaked the mighty coin and decided that he was going to go against the coin flip anyway. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are smoking.
My coin said Giants, and it lied.
The Giants are... Oh, yeah. I mean, you should have forsaken the mighty coin. But the Giants are certainly passable as one of those, like, Jekyll and Hyde bad teams,
Yeah,
they'll beat a good team every now and then, but they're not good enough to beat the Cowboys, who lost to the Jets, which means that the Jets are better than the Giants.
I think the Giants are definitely better than the Jets. Honestly, after a couple of weeks since that game, more and more, I'm just left wondering how the fuck did we do that? How did we beat the Cowboys? How did that happen? Like, I legitimately, I don't know. But With that said, Dan Jones looking pretty good so far, honestly, for a rookie. 1,600 yards, 11 touchdowns, 8 picks. You know,
Bears would love him.
Yeah, quality.
Buccaneers would love him. A lot of teams actually love him right now. Barkley only had 28 rushing yards. That's the biggest stat I've seen.
Yep.
So
he's on my fantasy team. That's fun. Yeah.
They shut down Saquon. He had 67 receiving yards.
Yeah, he had 6 receptions for 67. That's something.
Yeah, that is something.
PPR league especially.
And it's Cowboys are just better than the Giants. But
I'm glad that Amari Cooper decided to cancel out that Golden Tate because I was worried. I was worried about losing to Grindor this week.
Yeah.
When I had such an incredible lead over him.
Yeah.
Then Aaron Rodgers laid the fat goose egg, and then I was kind of worried after that.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened.
They have Daniel Jones' fumble in the fourth quarter was the 22nd giveaway for the Giants this season. Oh boy. 22nd in 9 games.
That is a lot of turnovers.
Now that is Jameis Winston turnover rate right there.
Does he have he does kind of have fumbling issues. He's got 10 on the year right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not good.
As again, Jameis Winston numbers. In fact, looking at the stats, Gardner Minshew leads the fumble category with 11. Josh Allen, Daniel Jones at 10, Jameis at 9, Flacco at 8, Cousins at 7.
Really? Yeah, I was gonna say, where's Cousins on that?
Yeah,
he's
right
actually
there. 7.
keeping it in check.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's this week in football. I wanted to take a quick look at the playoff picture. Right now, it's Patriots, Ravens would get the byes, Texans, Chiefs, Bills, and Colts would be the playoff teams. On the outside looking in would be the Steelers, Raiders, Jaguars, Titans. Then in the NFC, 49ers, Saints would get the byes. Then the Packers, Cowboys, and the Seahawks, Vikings. Man, I don't want to play the Vikings in the playoffs. Then the Rams.
Yeah, but it's Kirk Cousins. You
that's
can't.
true.
It's also Minnesota, so like
It's
their
just
curse is
I don't care about Kirk Cousins. I care about Dalvin Cook. He's gonna run for like 200 yards in the cold.
Yeah, but they're cursed, dude. Like they're gonna have
true.
to. They'll have to kick the after point that will
That's
make
true.
them tie the game, and then they'll.
Would you say they're Kirks?
All right,
Maybe.
that's and on the outside looking in. There's actually the Rams, Panthers, and Eagles would miss the playoffs, and then the Lions would be 10.
Huh.
So yeah, it would. That's the NFC is very good.
Okay, one of Daniel Jones's fumbles is fucking hilarious in this game.
What?
He dives, right, and then like he dives to try to get the first down, and he puts his hands up.
Yeah,
and he just he just cannon shots the ball down to the Cowboys.
it was pretty good.
That's some good stuff.
Well, let's kick it over to Sinvicta for the NFL Power Rankings.
Thanks, Coach Crandor. Power Rankings. Here we go. NFL Power Rankings on NFL.com, the Bible of the Internet. Guys, since Bear's not here, you got to pick up the slack. You're only as good as your weakest link. Can you name the top 5 teams in the NFL.com Power Rankings? Power Rankings on the Ham Rankings. Rob, go.
Patriots.
Yep.
Saints.
Yep.
Packers.
Yep.
Whew.
2 more.
49ers.
Yep. Can you do it, Rob?
Okay, this is the hard one.
This is the tough one.
I am going to go with the Ravens.
That's correct, Rob.
Let's
Top
go.
5 is the 49ers now back to for the first time in this season up to first place, moving up to number 1 from rank number 2. The Saints have gone from 3 to 2. Patriots fall 2 down to 3. Ravens have gotten the biggest, fattest doink of. Or wait, no, that's the skinniest. I don't know. Look, they moved the most spots upwards. All right, the Ravens moving 6 spots, going up from 10 to 4th, and the Packers somehow have stayed in the top 5 with that embarrassing loss of a whatever game that was to the Chargers. Going from 4 to 5 now. Coach Crandor, this one's just for you. because I gotta see where you go with this one, Coach.
Yeah.
True or false? True or false?
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys are ranked above the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, that's probably true.
That's absolutely right, Coach. The Cowboys at 5-3, despite beating a vaunted New York Giants team, have still maintained their 7th spot in the power rankings.
I don't know how.
Besting, nope, Coach, can't argue it. Besting such great teams as the Kansas City Chiefs, who have now risen from 9th to 8th at 6-3. The Houston Texans, who inexplicably have fallen one spot despite winning against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They have now fallen from 8th to 9th. And then, of course, we have the biggest fattest doink of the week. It's Rob's favorite team. The Minnesota Vikings have dropped 5 spots after rising like the Phoenix. They have fallen like Icarus, getting too close to the sun, dropping 5 spots, going from 5 to 10th to round out the top 10. Now, Robert.
Yeah.
It's that time, Rob. It is the time we've been waiting for, that we've been waiting to ask this question ever since this week ended. Rob, true or false? The New York Jets are the 32nd ranked power rankings team in the NFL power rankings on NFL.com.
God, it is difficult because the Bengals exist.
They do exist.
Problem is that I think that this loss was so shameful for the New York Jets that it propels them over the perpetual guilt of the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to say that this is a true. They are 32nd.
Did you call them the Cincinnati Bungles? I love that.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
that's terrific.
Also, hello, Bear.
Hello.
Greetings.
That's absolutely incorrect. The Jets have dodged the bullet, the proverbial last-ranked bullet, by falling to the 31st spot in the NFL power rankings, now dropping like a rock from the 29th to the 31st rank. And I've got to read this just because, man, the writers at NFL.com are just some of the smartest, most talented people in the world.
Yep.
That smell is the fabric of Adam Gacy's pants smoldering on the hot seat. There you go. That's some good stuff there. Now, Bear, since you just joined us here, Bear, name the 32nd worst team in all of football in the NFL power rankings on NFL.com.
Definitely the Patriots after that game last night. Gee whiz, what a stinker.
Hey-o.
That'd be the Bengals.
That is incorrect. The Washington Redskins are sitting at the last spot despite having one more win than the 0-8 Bengals, who have inexplicably stayed at the 30th ranked position despite not having a game this week. Now, here we go, guys. Now this is the community, the final one. Well, actually, no, there's 2 because I have to mention the Bucks. But first, we got to get to this one. How many spots did the Miami Dolphins rise like the savior himself from the bowels of the depths of hell? Cometh the Miami Dolphins, winning their first game, the only one that I was able to successfully boast about, mind you, against the Jets on the Pick'ems. How many games did the Dolphins rise, or how many ranks did they rise after winning their first? Bear says 5. Robert.
I'm going to be honest. I was going to say 5, so I'll say 4.
I'll say 3.
You can say the same number.
I'll say 3.
Coach Crandor is absolutely correct. The Dolphins have risen like a phoenix.
We're running out of metaphors.
to 29th now, besting the likes of the Bengals, the Jets, and the Redskins. And finally, guys, last but certainly not least, although they are the least in everyone's mind, true or false, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still in the top 25 of the NFL power rankings on NFL.com. Open for anybody.
True.
Rob?
True.
That is all incorrect. The Buccaneers have moved to 27th rank. So good job, Bucks, being bested by the 2-7 Giants, the 3-5 Cardinals, the 2-6 Browns, 4-5 Titans, who are somehow inexplicably ranked below the Bears, and with the Broncos finally rising out of the bottom 25 to move to the 21st position, and the Jaguars somehow are still above all of them at rank 20. Back up to you in the booth. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Dude,
Hey.
before we move on and segue to the next segment.
Dirty.
Well, I just wanted to, since we have our boy Bear here, I wanted to hear his brief take on the pay. It's a rare event. Bear has his team lost the game. Like, I want to know his perspective here on it.
We're gonna win the Super Bowl still.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all kind of landed on that.
All right, thanks, thanks, Bear.
You got it.
Yeah. All
I
right,
got you in the booth. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Brevity is the soul of wit.
Oh man, I'm starting Golden Tate this week against the Jets.
Yeah, that's
be a
great.
good game.
Anybody who's playing against the Jets, start them.
I picked up
Rob.
I picked up the Giants defense, so I'm ready.
Nice.
I
The
started
Patriots-
the Jets defense last week, man. Oh, God. I still somehow won by like a fraction of a point, but man, that was a hell of a call.
Well, the Patriots are on bye week, unfortunately, this week, so that's why I had to pick somebody. I was like, oh, hey, the Giants are playing the Jets. That should be fun. And Bear, we had a confirmation because I haven't boasted it to Bear yet, but we have a new number one in Pick'em.
Oh, I know. You don't need to fucking confirm that for me again.
And for 2 weeks in a row, the same person is quite possibly a Pick'em's god. I'm not going to say that I'm a god of sorts. I'm not the god, but I'm certainly some kind of divine entity, which does resemble a god.
Let's just check these power rankings of our own picks right here.
Here we go. Yeah, here comes number 2 speaking.
So,
Go ahead.
As we see,
I can't hear you down there, Coach. What'd you say?
It looks like you are beating me by 0.01%. And
oh man, it feels so good on this chair.
So
it's
as
all
we
like
sit
nice
here,
and warm.
I am 88-54-2. Sinvicta's 90-53-1. Rob is 81-62-1, and Bear is 76-67-1.
Oh look, the armrest has a little like pouch stuff in there. I can put the remote in there. It's pretty neat.
All right, okay. So let's pick some games.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I made it for Pick'em.
Yeah.
You made it for Pick'ems. Hold on. Any breaking NFL news from Ian Rappapap? Let me just check.
Adam Gates is fired. God, I wish.
Dolphins waive former first-rounder Robert Ndimchi, however you say his name. Jets announced they've placed Josh Bellamy and Trumaine Johnson on IR, saying, I think it's safe to say Johnson has played his last down with the team.
Wait, Tremaine Johnson's out?
Yes.
Let's go. Fuck that guy. He sucks dick.
Did you pay him like $30 million?
Yes, he's like he's one of the highest paid contracts on the team.
Amid the slump, Sam Darnold says, and I quote, he's still seeing the field well. Despite seeing ghosts.
Yeah, I mean that's he's now never gonna live that down, which is the stupidest fucking thing on planet Earth.
And guess what? Your boy Booger McFarlane is the one who put the icing on the cake.
Yes, he
dotted
did.
the I for that one, so it's just a match made in heaven. Booger and Darnold.
Yep. Also, Deshaun Jackson likely on the IR. It looks like the Jets have signed Paul Warlow. Neat.
Excellent.
The Colts say Brissett has a sprain, MCL sprain. He's optimistic he can play.
Yeah.
And big Miami Dolphin news. Mark Walton, that star running back we talked about earlier, has been suspended 4 games for violating substance of abuse policy.
All right, there we go.
Can't have him winning anymore.
Yeah. No. He had like 23 yards. That's Miami Dolphin records this year. And that's all the news for that. So here we are. Pick'ems. So, first game is the Thursday night thriller, as all Thursday night thrillers are. This one's actually not too bad. Chargers Raiders.
Okay. Yeah, that might be good.
Yeah.
Give me the Raiders.
What the hell happened with the Chargers, man? I know y'all have probably gone over this already.
I've already went over it. Chargers
we
had one of their games where they looked great. Our defense, here's our biggest thing I took away is the Chargers' red zone offense sucks ass. We stopped them 4 times in the red zone. They only had 4 field goals on their first 4 red zone trips. Our offense had 0 red zone trips at all. So that was the fun part. So that's it.
That's me every week, Krendor. Every week.
Well, the Packers beat the Raiders and the Chargers beat the Packers, so I guess the Chargers beat the Raiders.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raiders.
It's hard to beat that math, but my initial gut feeling, which is what I'm going by this week, is that the Raiders will win.
Here's my thing. The Raiders have one of the best offensive lines, so I think they're going to stop Bosa and Ingram, which was a big problem for us, and that should be enough to, I think, propel them.
I don't mean to correct you, Coach, but I believe it's pronounced the Raiders.
Oakland Raiders.
Especially the Vegas Raiders. Everyone's still calling them the Oakland Raiders. Yeah.
Then we have the Giants-Jets. Watch out. Wee-woo, game of the week.
Boy.
Dinger.
Look at them Jets. I mean, Giants. Sorry, Jesus.
What were you thinking? Are you crazy?
Sometimes I'd like to pick the Jets as like a crazy upset because they did beat the Cowboys. However, Adam Gase has lost the locker room. I'm going Giants.
Yeah.
You mean, however, you've lost the lead and pick them, so you have to go for the non-crazy picks this week.
No, even I think if I had the lead, I would still take the Giants.
You know, I would lock this one in if it weren't for the fact that I feel kind of bad locking against the Jets so often this year. So I'm gonna say it's the Giants win though.
All right. Falcons Saints.
I will be locking the Saints though.
You gotta lock the Saints here, yeah.
All right. I'll give the Jets fan a good Saints lock. He needs it. Man, watch the Falcons have like the game of the century.
I know, dude.
Matt Ryan comes back, throws for 6 TDs.
So I take it everyone's Saints, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Chiefs Titans.
Chiefs.
Yep.
This
come on.
Really? It has all the setup of a trap game.
I mean,
it's a 10 a.m., dude. It's just gonna be a routine win.
I'm gonna let you pick the Titans if you want them, Coach.
Hold on. Let's see. Are there any crazy other games I can pick here?
Coach is craziest pick of the week.
You know what? Give me the Titans. It's Titans.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
I mean, hey, I'm happy to get another game up on you. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm going Titans. They're at home. They're the Titans. You know they're coming in with that flip weird trap game. I take Titans.
If anyone's gonna do it, I guess it's them.
Yep. Ravens Bengals.
I mean,
lock in Baltimore.
All right. There's the Raven lock on the Bengals.
We're all in on the Ravens on this one.
Yep. The Bills and as Tony Gonzalez said pregame. Wait, who are they playing? I'll take the Bills over the Browns.
Yeah, same.
Go Browns.
Oh,
shit! He hasn't learned.
Look at this guy.
I learned last week. Y'all didn't learn last week, but we got an opportunity here. I think this is where maybe they right the ship.
You've learned to not go against the coin flip. Yeah, I'm going Bills. So
I'm going Bills. So we got 1 Browns, 3 Bills. Cardinals Buccaneers. Ooh.
Dinger.
Game of the week, baby.
I want to say Bucks. You know what? No, it was my gut feeling. Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks here.
I'm going to flip a coin. Heads is Bucks, tails is Cardinals. It is the Cardinals.
Oh, shit.
I'll be taking the Arizona Cardinals.
And the tails was actually New Mexico on the coin as the tails. So, I mean, that's pretty close to Arizona. That's
Stayed over.
Yeah.
So that means they gotta win.
Yep.
Lions, Bears.
Lions.
Lions.
Bears.
I'm going Lions.
Really?
The Bears' offense is just bad. It's
It's
I don't trust
non-existent.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, Bear.
So,
I gotta go Bears.
all
mean,
right, I
you
feel
do.
that.
You're contractually obligated.
Absolutely.
Yep. The Dolphins, Colts. This is the Colts.
Colts.
Go Colts.
I really wish that we could start locking against the Dolphins again. I think we should be able to. They have a win now. I mean,
I feel comfortable.
well-
like there is one team that's
With
worse than them.
Fitzpatrick,
Yeah.
it's allowable, I think. Once they go
I
back to
don't mind it
Rosen,
at all.
it's
Go
not
for it, man.
allowable.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
taking the Colts.
All
I
right.
mean, not
You're
the
locking
least
the
of
Colts?
which reasoning, not the
Oh.
least of which being that the rule was founded upon a lie. So
Right.
all right.
No, I'm locking the Ravens. I'm not locking the Colts.
Actually, no, we're not breaking the rules. You can't lock against the Dolphins. It's a rule. It's there. It is what it is.
That's fine.
Panthers, Packers. Oh God. I can
Packers
already see it.
Gotta win this game, right?
I'm gonna take Packers. I still think we'll win, but I think McCaffrey's gonna have like 800 yards on the day.
He will. That's the thing, is you guys are gonna have to score like 40 points to win, but I think you can.
I think the
Yeah.
Packers win in the shootout.
I can't
I'm
wait for
taking the
McCaffrey
Packers.
to get me 60 fantasy points this
What
year.
I'm
It's gonna be
hoping-
fucking awesome.
What I'm hoping is we just stack the box, put 9 in the box at this point. Just put everybody in the box and make Kyle Allen throw it.
Every
trust
defensive play, just have everyone looking at Christian
it. Yeah.
all the time.
Triple
Yeah.
coverage. Triple.
Thank
Yeah.
God I'm going up against Rob and not Bear this week.
Yeah.
yeah.
Then we've got Rams, Steelers.
Rams, I guess. Steelers are somehow 4-4. I don't know what the hell happened there, but
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I think the Rams will win. If the Rams lose this game, they truly are my official overrated team of the year.
yeah. Yeah, they on paper they absolutely should win this game. So if they don't,
Yeah.
they are
I'll trust it.
underperforming.
I'll go
Gut
Rams.
says Rams. I'm going Rams.
Bear.
I said Rams.
Oh, yeah, I'm going Rams.
All right.
I don't trust Steelers enough. I'm not convinced by what they've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
I am not
what
either.
have their wins been? Who have they even beat?
Well,
They-
they just got done beating the
Colts.
Colts, I believe, this week.
They've
Right, yeah.
actually beat the Colts, the Chargers, the
The Dolphins.
Bengals, and the Dolphins.
The Dolphins,
Okay, so
yeah.
the last two are a lot less impressive. than the
And they
first
only
two.
lost
like
they only lost by 2 to the Seahawks, and they only lost by 4 to the 49ers. And they only lost by
They actually
3 to the
lost
Ravens.
Three to the Ravens.
Yeah,
Like-
okay, so they're not terrible.
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm still taking the Rams though.
I am too, but I could definitely
Dude,
see
you know
Hold
what?
on,
Give me
hold
the
on.
Steelers here. Give me the Steelers.
Okay.
I
Now
almost
you
want
talked me
to
into it.
I almost want to flip on that. They got the 16th best
hold on, I can
run
do one better.
defense.
Indeed. Yeah, no,
Huh.
absolutely. That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah. They're hold on. What is the okay? I know it. Steelers pass rush. I need to know.
What's the
This
next
is
game
it.
while you do these stats?
Yeah,
Next game is Vikings Cowboys in Dallas.
Vikes.
Dallas, yeah.
give me the Cowboys on that one.
Ooh, going against Invicta's rough, but I'm still going Vikes here.
There's a close game. I'm gonna go Cowboys just so I don't have to root for the Vikings.
Makes
But
sense.
it's gonna be close. Man,
Actual game of the week on Monday night though.
Yeah, this is
TJ
great.
Watt. You know what? I'm gonna take the Steelers over the Rams and stick with my
right.
overrated Rams theory. They got TJ Watt. They can get to Goff and make him be like, "Whoa," and throw the ball up. So I'll be going Steelers on that one, and then Cowboys.
I'm gonna have to take the Niners. I mean, Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks,
Wilson's
Niners.
on an MVP campaign for sure, but the Niners at home, that's pretty tough to
It's
beat this season.
It's a divisional game, but
Yeah.
I think, dude, Russell Wilson. I don't know if I want to pick against Russell Wilson right now.
He's playing out of his fucking mind.
Yeah,
he's
we
got
brought up
22 touchdowns to a single pick right now.
Yeah,
That is insane.
and the most passing yards.
It's crazy. Yeah, like he's beasting.
I will be
I'm taking the Hawks.
I'll be taking the Seattle Seahawks in this one.
49ers have the best pass defense right now.
Yeah. Well, and, you know,
my God.
It wouldn't, you know, despite the fact that he is having an MVP performance, I believe there was one game this year where he did not do that well.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah, what was that game?
I don't know.
Was
I'm gonna look now.
Was it against the Ravens?
It's against Baltimore. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, looks like it.
They
Oh,
lost
right, yeah.
30-16.
And
You know
Baltimore
what?
lost to Cleveland. So
What was that game? What the hell? Man? How did that happen?
And the Cowboys lost to the Jets, which means that the Seahawks are going to beat both of them.
Man, I
How
don't.
did the Ravens
I don't know
get
who
destroyed by the Browns at home? I don't get it. What
Divisional
the fuck?
games, man. They're always like, it doesn't matter which division.
Which
like,
is the reason why I'm picking the Seahawks, is because it's a divisional game.
yeah, I mean, honestly, like,
It's not that far of a home game, or it's not that far of an away game for Seattle, in all fairness.
All right,
sure
you know
depends
what?
on
I'm going to take the 49ers. And I'm going to take them because they have a good pass defense. And I'm going to take them because if they don't win this week, then I'll lose faith in them. So
always a good
I'm not
reason,
the
Coach.
only stat checker now. We've finally made it.
Yeah.
There's two. There's
we got
two
stat
of us.
checking. Man, who am I going to lock?
Truthfully, I was going primarily with the betting lines on today's pick'ems too.
That's fair. Yeah, that probably is a better way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to lock the Green Bay Packers in hopes of them making the adjustments, correcting their mistakes, and showing me they are a true contending football team.
Hell yeah.
And if they lose, I will be very depressed.
I think they are going to beat the Panthers. I don't think it's going to be as close as you're thinking. Because the Packers are coming off of a really embarrassing loss, and they're going to be fired up for this game, especially going back to Lambeau.
Yeah, I think they'll win. I'll lock it in. I think it's gonna be closer. Well, you know what? I think they'll shut down McCaffrey and we'll win. You know, I think we got this.
I think they'll go undefeated for the rest of the week.
Listen, all that matters, we finish hot. That's all I want.
Yep.
right.
And that's the games of the week.
Wait, who did Bear lock in?
I got the Ravens.
Ravens. Wait, who's Invicta lock?
I locked in the Ravens.
I got them first.
Yeah. Well, we could do more than one lock at the same team, unless one of you wanted to switch your locks. I mean, you're welcome to, but we're allowed.
I hate this. We're calling teams first.
I did.
It's not a rule. Like, you guys can't both lock the same team. You know,
Yeah,
it's
but
fine.
it'd be the first time that we've done it. And that's
No, we did it a couple
Don't
of
do
times.
double locks against the Bengals.
Yeah, that is kind of slow. That is a little bit scary.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now the
Yeah.
only reason why I can't is because Bear called it first.
Well, you got to be quick, motherfucker.
I didn't know that we were going on first come, first serve. I'm.
Give Bear the lock. He's in
I'm
last
gonna-
place.
I'm gonna give it last place.
That's a great point, honestly.
I'll
Yeah,
give it
he really needs it. Yeah.
I lock. Give me the Giants.
Oh,
Okay.
Honestly, it's a good lock. I almost locked that.
It is one of those games where it's conceivable that the garbage town Jets lose to the Miami Dolphins and then for some reason beat the Giants. Like it's like totally conceivable. Like
Mostly because it would hurt their season to do so. I think
Yes,
that's why they'd find a way to do
100%.
it.
yeah.
Well, if we're not changing the rule about locking against the Dolphins, then I have basically no other choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to finish this show off, I'd like to bring up one stat. Russell Wilson has 4 game-winning drives this year. Who is tied with him at 4?
Kirk Cousins.
Nope.
Oh, damn it.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Nope.
Tom
Jacoby Brissett?
Brady.
Brisket?
Nope.
Yeah, me? No.
You'll each get one more
Lamar
guess.
Jackson.
Nope.
Who's
Rob
been
Bear.
winning from behind? a
Trent
bunch?
Dilfer.
I got nothing.
All right,
I'm back.
Rob.
I mean, 4 wins at least.
Yep,
Obviously,
it is 4.
Kyle Allen?
Nope.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you a more educated guess. Here.
All right, give me that educated guess.
I'm gonna educate your guess. Oh, is it Josh Allen?
It is Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Oh, look at
4
that. Good for him.
comebacks.
He hurdled a man.
He hurdled
You know
a man.
what? I want to say, as a man who takes pride in his cute quarterback analysis,
Yep.
Josh Allen has done nothing but prove me wrong. So I am happy to say I was incorrect, largely about the man. He is proving that he is at the very least able to lead them to wins.
Yeah, and really, that's all you need when your defense is good.
And he can hurdle people.
The only other stat I wanted to bring up is a fun one, which is the most accurate field goal kicker right now. Nobody's going to get this.
Oh,
Josh Lambo
Oh,
of
thank
the
God.
Jacksonville Jaguars. 22 of 22 on field goals. And I believe he's 12 of 13 on extra points. So his only
Damn,
miss this
son.
year is an extra point.
That's wild.
Yeah. So Josh Lambo and the Jaguars doing something over there, I guess.
How's the Seahawks? Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Could you look up where's the Seahawks kicker? Is he one of the better ones, or is he has he regressed to like middle of the pack?
The Seahawks kicker Jason Myers is 12 of 17 and 24 of 26 on extra points.
Okay,
So he's not
not Pro Bowl.
great, but he's not bad.
Okay,
So yeah.
so I don't have to feel too sad about it.
Yeah, you don't have to
Just
feel
leaving
too
him
sad
on.
about it. He'll
Yeah,
probably
no.
miss a field goal in the playoffs or something. You'll
Perfect.
see.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Playoffs. That'll do it for this week. So thanks for listening, everybody. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at 3 Guys and the Bear, all one word, or to search us. We're pumping up the subs. We had 144 new subs last week. Let's go.
Oh shit! Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
So famous. Fat doinks.
And yeah, follow us on Twitter. All our Twitter's down there. You can hear our football reactions live to things during games. And that'll do it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Goodbye.